Can I be honest with you? When I started this save game, Mark the Space, my son, was intentionally given 1 injury proneness so that this wouldn't happen. Torn knee ligaments out for 4 to 5 months. Yeah, he's been one of the best players in the team. This is a big problem. In our tactical system, he fits that roaming playmaker role, a super commanding role, the kind of role that the best player in your team needs to be able to play. With him out, it may well fall on Faisal No here to be our new roaming playmaker. And this man with these physicals, he ain't roaming. In today's episode, we've got 2 massive games without our star player. The first is against PDRM, who, well, they were relegated last year and are a very good team with loads of players in the Media Dream 11. And then after that, the very small matter of Perak FC just 10 days later, also away, also a team relegated last year. Their media predictions is first. We've had a great start to the year. It could really go wrong quickly today. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. It's Immigration FC. We are still in Malaysia playing in the Liga M3, and today, like you've already heard, it's rather big matches at the top of the table. Last episode, we opened up the season. Since then, 6 games played in the league. 5 wins. We've been pretty good all in all. Sadly, however, we were knocked out of the Malaysian FA Cup since you were last here. Granted, we were playing against Kuching, who, surprisingly for a team called Kuching, don't have very much money. They play in the league above us. They're quite a good team. They beat us 1-0, and in this game, Abdul Rahman Daoud missed a penalty. 42nd minute, a chance to take the lead before the break, and well, this miss is the reason he is firmly cemented as my 3rd favourite striker in the team. Now, of course, last episode we took on YPM. 93 people turned up for that game. It was an absolute sellout. Since then, we've been on a pretty good run in form all in all. Like I mentioned, we went on a mini FA Cup run. Sadly, that has more recently come to a close, but we did get a 3-0 win against McCann. Pirellis we beat 3-0 as well. Against PIB, 2-1. Not the most convincing. Couple of games here where we've managed to get 6 goals. 1 draw, though, against Signs. And to be fair, if I'm being honest, I do feel like our league form kind of flatters us a little bit. This game, more of a reflection, I think, of reality to start the year. There's been some tight games in there. We've kind of taken a lot of the opportunities that have come our way, and it does feel like we're quite momentum-based at the moment. And you know what? Maybe that should worry me slightly, because as I've already mentioned, today we are going to be taking on PDRM and Perak away from home. In between those games, we've got a game against Kelantan here, who are actually quite a good team. Media prediction of 3rd, but right now, they're down in 9th. And I feel like because of that, they're not worth covering in today's live commentary session. Plus, if I'm being honest, I selfishly wanted to do 2 Malaysian away days today. So we're not going to cover them. When they now beat me in 3 days' time, we'll just play it off and act cool and not pretend it's really awkward. Now, in terms of team news, since last episode, I got loads of feedback from you guys on the Malaysian names of different footballers, and I've essentially simplified them down to the equivalent names that they have on websites like Soccerway and Transfermarkt that cover these players. It makes it a little bit easier for me and hopefully a little bit easier for you to keep track of who is who. And in terms of the top performers so far this year, there are 2 men that lead the way, and unsurprisingly, they are our 2 strikers. Only 9 goals between them, but they really have led the line. Of course, Jarrell Thikri, the Malaysian international, he's in the Media Dream 11 for a reason. 4 goals and 4 assists doesn't sound that impressive, but in 7 games, that is quite the return. And of course, Danish here. Yes, I've just been referring to this guy in my head as the Great Dane, which I think is what we might now call him. Of course, last episode, he scored his 1st ever goal as a footballer, despite the fact he had 13 finishing, was in his 20s. Since then, he's added 4 more goals to his name. Did miss a few games through injury, mind you. But when he's played, he's been very good. And in fact, from a goal-scoring point of view, the strikers that we've brought in have also performed. I mentioned Abdul sadly missing a few penalties. I say a few penalties. He missed 1 penalty. It was a bad one. But despite that, he has actually got 4 goals to his name. And in terms of super subs, Fergus Tierney is just the greatest super sub of all time. He got a load of goals in our most recent game. He actually has 3 goals in the league, 2 in the cup. And as a 4th choice striker, he's doing exactly what I want him to be doing. In terms of the other players performing particularly well, our fullbacks have done rather well. On occasion, Tuan had to come in and slot in at right wing back. Naturally, with his attributes, he's never gonna, well, I hope, be the main right back. But when we have called upon players like Ayman Yousni here, who's been absolutely great at right back, and his counterpart on the other side in Falmon Ayi, the 2 players, they've performed really well. 7.5 rating, 7.54 rating. Yeah, you can't really knock that. And for Filemon, who is, I promise he's not a Digimon, he has actually got 5 assists, which for a fullback is great, especially in this kind of system. There's a lot asked of our fullbacks with this narrow shape, Both of them have really stepped up to the plate. I mentioned in the intro about the fact that with Mark injured, I've needed a player to step up and play at roaming playmaker. Faisal has been given a couple of occasions. Has he stepped up to the plate? No. The clue's in his name. He's been absolutely awful. But he's 16, so I kind of have to show him some patience. Now, just looking at the pre-season preview here, you can see the updated odds actually have us as favourites to win the league. That is a reflection, I think, of the strength that we've had in the team and also our recent form. In terms of the Media Dream 11, Aymar Yousni and Farmon are both in there, of course, two of the players we brought in to play in the fullback areas, and Sharel Fikri also in there as a striker. And if you are wondering, Jack, who's the team that are in the blue and red? They have lots of players. It's today's first opposition in PDRM. They have some serious quality. They are also one of the big spenders in this league alongside ourselves, who are kind of comfortably leading the way. And also Kelantan and Perak, of course, both of those teams we've got to play in the near future. These 3 games feel somewhat pivotal. We're 7 games into the season. It's only a 26 league game season. And after these kind of 3 matches that we have against 3 of the favourites to be around us, we could be pulling ahead at the top or very much firmly in a race for the top 2. Of course, no playoffs in this division. You've just got to finish in that elusive top 2 spot, which, whilst it looks likely right now, things could change quickly. First things first, though, we've got a away day to do, my friends. We are heading to the stadium at Petaling Jaya. I don't know where that is. I mean, it's in a place called Petaling Jaya, it turns out. We'll go find out together where it is. It's a big game for us. Don't go anywhere. Now, it turns out we've not got too far to go for today's away day. The Pusat Sukan UPM is our stadium, and if we just zoom out a little bit, their stadium is over here. I didn't definitely previously view it to make sure I was in the right place. Here is the MBPJ Stadium. I think the PJ stands for peanut butter and jelly. Now, first things first, car park, ladies and gentlemen. And for people wondering, Jack, what's the weird obsession with car parks? It's a universal language. Anywhere you go in the world, you can rate a stadium by its car park. But as we're actually learning in Southeast Asia, you can also apparently rate them by the swimming pools next door, because here, there is also a swimming pool next door and this little kind of garden area, which I kind of want to go for an explore around. We've got this lovely little park on one side, and then the stadium is the other side of this roundabout. Look at the car parking as well. That makes me happy. I kind of want to go for an adventure. Look at the slide. All I'm saying is 6 swings. They know what I want to do on an away day, and it's definitely swing. I don't know what this is. Is this just a fountain? Can I just run under that? Can you swim in it? No idea. There's a lake next door that you can walk straight down into. Just inspecting the car park here. I'm nodding along. Multi-story car park next door. They knew I was coming, and also it's only 3 RM to park. No idea if that's a good deal or not. Now, of course, we are here for the football stadium, which we are going to be able to have a look inside, so let's jump straight into it. Oh, my word. What have I arrived to? Where are we? Is this the Cliff Garcia fan club from the Gibraltar save game? I should explain, if you don't know who Cliff Garcia is, go watch the Gibraltar save recap videos on the channel. If you've been on the channel and seen these 2-hour-long Gibraltar videos, they are stream highlights of an entire season in one video. Worth a watch if you've not been catching them. So it turns out that all the dots on the pitch aren't on football match days. Apparently there's a lot of other stuff going on in the stadium, which I suppose is why the pitch is a little bit of a state. But in terms of the actual stadium and the surroundings, this is a really, really cool stadium. I kind of like the shape of it, even though it has got an enemy of the away day and a running track around it. It looks cool with the different coloured seats. Great car park. Swimming pool next door. Little play area with the slide and swings. They're over there somewhere. I'm going to give the stadium Petaling Jaya a 7.5 out of 10. I actually quite enjoyed it as an away day. It was just fun to go on an adventure around the park. I have a feeling some people are going to think that rating's high. Look, I'm just basing it on recent away days. We've been starved of content. So in terms of team news for today's game, a couple of changes. Of course, Mark's injured, so No is going to come into the team. We'll hope he can do better. Elsewhere in the team, new player has emerged at centre-back recently in Iqbal Azmi. Now, at the start of the year, I was playing Amaral here, who you can see in blue, but honestly, I think I just like the physicality in terms of pace and aerial ability of Azmi. At this level, I feel like you can't go wrong with a meteor striker, and especially because we are kind of prone to conceding more crosses due to the fact we only have fullbacks in the wider areas. I think having as good a centre-backs in the air as possible is kind of important, and Iqbal Azmi definitely ticks that box. In terms of the rest of the team, I was really hoping that Nazirullah was going to be this mad revelation when he had such a great performance in the first game of the year. Since then, he's been a little bit patchy, as you can see by his recent form. Had 4 games in a row when he struggled, shone in our most recent game with 2 goals, hoping he can come up big. in this game here. Okay, PDRM are playing a 4-2-3-1. The guy they're actually playing up front, I looked at signing and I turned down. How good's he been for them? 4 goals in 6. Yeah, I had the option to sign this guy and I decided not to. I hope he doesn't score now. Right, I need Filemon on the left and A-Man on the right to have the games of their life, if possible. They've been 2 really, really solid players for us. Early on, they are going to have a corner. As the home team, I'm sure they're going to want to press home the advantage. Given, well, I was going to say our superior league position, I want to believe we can get one over on them. We haven't there. They've made it 1-0. Just as I was talking earlier about, you know, centre-backs with good aerial ability, I think it's a good idea. We get beaten in the air, and that is not a good way to concede first. I mean, look, we're almost halfway through this first half. We're having a lot of possession. 1 shot on target for either team. Our shot was so bad, it's got a 0 XG. It's like they know we've got 2 matches today and they just want to have the least amount of highlights possible, PDRM. They're a nightmare. We're not breaking them down. It's 1-0 at the break, and to be frank, what an awful game of football. What was that? Get it together. I don't feel like we've ever really been shut down like this in a game this year. There's not many league games where we don't manage to score in the first half. It's happened in this game here. It's a bit of an uncharted territory and unknown moment to be in. Their wing-backs are having really good games. I imagine they're kind of getting forward. I mean, we can see from the average positions here, they're not actually getting that far forward and for overlaps. We are having a decent amount of the ball, just not really doing enough with it. I'm going to encourage us to get a little bit more direct with our play here. I'm going to get rid of luck for overlap as well. And in transition, we're going to quicken it up just a little bit and not necessarily roll it out. I want us to get the football forward quicker if we can. To be honest, with over an hour played, I need to make some subs. Faisal No is going to come off. We're going to bring in Fitri, who is the screaming face man. I've only ever used him as a sub this year. I'm waiting for a magical moment from him. Today would be good for that. Both our strikers have been poor, and I talked about our ability to score goals with players on off the bench. So we're going to bring in Fergus Tierney and also Dowd to play as a new striking duo. Going to make a triple change for now. I'm a little bit worried about A-Man on a booking as well. You know what? Tuan here is a big drop-off in terms of defensive ability, but he's absolutely rapid, and maybe that's what we need. Sometimes in Football Manager, you just got to throw players on the pitch because they're quick and hope they run fast. Maybe these players can make an impact. They've got to throw in on the near side here. I'll be honest, we have not looked like scoring in this game. This is the first game all year where I can say we've been shut down and absolutely outplayed. What a goal that is, by the way. Ball was whipped to the back post, and I was going to complain about the fact it was a back post header. Instead, the player volleys it into the bottom corner. What a goal that is. I mean, unfortunately for us, they've had 2 shots on target in this game and scored 2 goals. I don't actually feel like we've been that much second best in this game. In fact, if you look at the match momentum, you could even be tricked into thinking that we deserve to be winning this. But to be frank, we've created very little. When they've created stuff, they've looked clinical. The subs we've made haven't really worked. And I've not really got to a point yet with this team where I've kind of got a plan B devised. Maybe I need to be thinking about that plan B. That was very nearly free. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this game are going to come and go. We looked so uninspired in that game there. Shut down completely, failing to score. Like I said, match momentum kind of makes it look like an even game. They just took their chances. If I want to find a positive, KL Rovers, who were in second, could only draw against Machan. Machan, down in 11th, have just done me a massive favour. If they hadn't drawn that game, KL Rovers would be joint top with us on 19 points. I am now a little bit worried that I'm about to end up with egg on my face because Kelatan were pre-season favourites to do well and have been awful. I'm not worrying about them today because I've got another away day to do. We're coming back for the game against Perak. Their media prediction was first. They're currently in 4th. If they win, they'd be equal on points with us. That's going to be a very big game. So, hi everyone. I'm back. We're not top of the league anymore. Yeah. I knew this game against Kelantan wasn't going to be easy, and 2-1 down, 88th minute, we popped up with a goal. Dowd got it to equalise. I'll admit it, I went off celebrating. They went up the other end, and their striker grabbed a hat-trick. I'm going to be honest, I feel pretty hard done by that we lost this game, but we weren't at our best yet again. Which, of course, does fill me with a little bit of dread, because our next opposition today are Perak, who, because of that defeat, are now equal on points with us. We have to win. We're away. We've got a trip to the Stadium Perak, very imaginatively named. Let's do a second away day. I just want to delay playing the match. That's the reality. That's it. Let's go see what this stadium's all about. Away day fans, you are feasting well today. Today we are heading to Ipoh, I think it said Ipoh, and the Perak Stadium. Here it is in all its glory, right next to the fire station. We might need that because I might be about to burn down the dressing room if we lose again. Now, first things first, car parking. 10 out of 10. My Malaysian homies know how to do it. I will say I'm now looking around for the swimming pool, confused. Good news, there is a swimming pool. This is the weirdest stereotype ever. Southeast Asia, swimming pools next to football stadiums. It's just a thing. It does actually look like they've got loads of other stuff going on here. 2 hockey pitches. I didn't realize hockey was big in Malaysia. Tennis courts. Is this cricket maybe? Or is it a football? It's probably just a football pitch. Oh, it's like a mini training pitch next door. I guess some teams maybe use this then. This away day is just really cute. It's just a load of stadiums next to each other for every sport. This is the stadium we're playing in, which is the biggest. It's got a logo outside, and it is the Perak, the boss, Gurus. Why is there a bull? I'm scared. I have noticed, I don't know if these are market stalls outside the stadium. I want to investigate it. Street food is so good in Southeast Asia. Oh, look at this. It's just like a little hawker centre. Oh, my word. I love it. I want to go and eat here right now. You got food, you got every sport you could imagine. I mean, what more could you want? I'm trying to work out what's in this long building. The Arena Skuasi Perak. No idea. Have they got enough Malaysia flags? Is what I'm wondering. They could do with a few more, I think. Right, let's hop into the Perak Stadium. Now, concerningly, there's only 2 dots in the stadium. We'll try our luck with this one first. Oh, my word. Drone footage. They know how to please me. It is another running track. I think we have to accept that a lot of the stadiums here aren't bespokely for football. You can see just all the different stadiums around this stadium. There is literally, there's just loads of sports going on all at once. It's really, really cool. I like it a lot, in case that isn't obvious. You've got these beautiful mountains on the horizon, and even more beautiful car park here. And as for the football stadium, I mean, look at the jazzy seat pattern they've got going on there. I love it. Okay, this dot was at the centre of the pitch. I've been lied to. This is not the centre circle. Google Earth, please fix. I mean, we'll just go back to the drone footage to give this a score. In terms of the stadium itself, I actually love it. This roof is so groovy. It's very, very cool. I like the seat art. I like the fact that it's got a little bit of cover. You know, you can get a little bit of shade. There's a food market next door. There's a load of stadiums, which are also colour coordinated the same way as the seats. I'm just such an easy man to please. This is one of my favourite away days ever. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to go for a paddle now to celebrate. You know what? I'm in such a good mood after that away day. I've nearly forgotten the fact that we're sat second in the league and we could drop further. Yeah, look, Mark is still out for a long, long time. I can't really use it as much of an excuse. He's out for 6 weeks to 3 months. Faisal No has been awful in the middle, so I'm going to give Afik Fitri another game to see what he can do. In terms of the rest of the team, it is a very, very strong 11 for this one. We need a win. We need to stop the rot. 2 defeats in a row is bad. 3 defeats in a row would be tragic. We were unbeaten before I hit start record today. Okay, Perak are lining up in a 4-2-3-1. They've got a lot of new gens in their team. I'm curious. Are their new gens good? I mean, he's got a great head of hair, hasn't he? I really want to think that we can just give them a good game here. I know that we've been poor lately, and I do feel like the better teams are able to exploit the narrow shape that we play with a lot more talent in the wider areas. Sadly, I don't really have a means by which to change things up all that radically. I do question now how much of the team was being held together by Mark playing well, and how much of it was just morale and momentum on our side. What I do know is we need to stop the rot sooner rather than later. An early goal in this game would help settle the nerves, but wayward passes like that are going to cost us. Badr lays it inside for them. Roslil lays it to Kadir. Played wide now to Lim Nicholas, the right winger, bringing it forward. Puts in Kadir. I mentioned his head of hair. He's also got 16 finishing. He makes it 1-0. I think I'm going to make an early change in this game. I'm actually going to drop Nasrullah into the centre mid position. I'm going to play him as a centre mid on attack. Just wondering if I drop him in, maybe the wider midfielders for us can just help cover the wider area when we don't have the ball a little better. I mean, 20 minutes into this game, it's not like they're dominating the game. We've actually edged out possession. 2 shots for either team. Sadly for us, they've been capable of finding the target. I'm going to shout some words of encouragement. If there was a risk of a rot starting and a load of goals being scored against us in quick succession, I feel like we've stopped that for now by dropping the centre attacking mid deeper. I am going to need, I think, to experiment with tactics more. What we've got here is working, And, I mean, it was offside. It wouldn't have counted. We have just hit the post. That's a reason for positivity. 7 minutes left of the half. It's a packed house in the stadium for this game. I'm wondering, does this team share the stadium with other teams? It's a very big stadium, as we noted. We're going to hope to silence it, but not with finishing like that. What are we doing? We have had chances in these games today. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half is going to come and go. I am not really that happy. I don't feel like we've been awful in this game, but the finishing has let us down. Sherelle here is on a booking and is on a 6.2. I think I just got to sub him off. I'm going to bring in Dowd to play up top. I'm going to have to forgive him for that penalty miss in the FA Cup and give him a chance here. In terms of the rest of the team, I'm not really loving what I'm seeing. The bookings at the back concern me quite a lot. I think for now, I'm just going to keep the defenders on and hope they can keep their discipline. I don't feel like we're being outclassed or kind of shown up massively in this game. They've just taken the one chance that came their way. They are building up on this far side. And I'm concerned because we do get abused in these wider areas. Badder whips it back post. It's headed away by a Fileman, but only as far as Mahmood, who shoots, but it's only just over. Corner for them. Safari. We're on a safari. We're seeing some animals. What's happened there? Why are we giving away a penalty? I'm trying to be a lyrical genius and my defenders are being cockwombles. I mean, our goalkeeper is thrusting to try and distract their attacker. Is it going to work? No. 3 defeats in a row looks like a real possibility suddenly. Ayman Yuzni gives it to Sharol Nizam. Afik Fitri now has it for us. The names in this save game are fantastic, aren't they? I'm still learning them as we go. I feel like I change the pronunciation every other time. Dowd, please score. I don't know what just happened. We have scored. It's an absolute gift. Do not complain. I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no idea how the ball fell to Dowd here. A miscommunication between 3 players. The goalie is just daydreaming. And he scores on off the bench. I feel like I've got to change things up and maybe go for this game a little bit more. I've not really experimented with playing with wing-backs, but maybe this is the game to try. Okay, there is 17 minutes left in this game. I've made a whole load of subs. I could still make a few more. I'm beginning to think maybe I should here. 10 minutes remaining. We need something. I'm going to bring in Fergus Tierney, and I'm going to play him at poacher in this game. The Scottish forward is the man I'm calling upon to be the Englishman's saviour. Maybe a chance to reset here. Our wing-back's going to be looking to get further forward here and maybe stretch them wide. Might leave some gaps in the middle. We are finding a bit of space. Dowd plays it to Tuan, the man who I've just subbed on. Can he turn provider? He skips past his man. He whips it in. And it was in the stars for Tierney to keep the header down, and he just couldn't. One last shout of encouragement. 5 minutes. We've got a set piece. It's whipped in. Tierney, his head had saved away. He was headed towards goal. And somehow they are just holding on in this game. Is it done? Afik Fitri has options in the middle. Goes a long way back here. We still have it. This looks dangerous. It's wide. Tuan, the right back, can only win a corner. 2 minutes left. I need a miracle. The miracle is not going to come. We had such a great start to this season. Now, I am starting to question everything. We drop out of the automatic promotion spots for, I think, the first time all year. Perak get a crucial win. KL Rovers managed to win as well. And PDRM won to make things worse. I'm trying to find a silver lining right now. Maybe it's the fact that the board only won a mid-table finish this year. Maybe that's what I should look at as a positive. I want promotion. There's question marks over it. As a reminder, there's only 16 games left of the league season now already. You know what? The sooner we get Mark back, the better. But, I mean, he might not be back until September. And by September, there'll only be 4 games left of the season. I'm worried. Appreciate you all as always. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on Monday for more. I'm out.